Hi, Chris Chen here again. We are with Dr. Powell, who's the president of Napa Valley College. Dr. Powell, you joined Napa College recently, so what brought you here?
Well, you know, the Napa Valley College's commitment to student success is really what brought me here. I love the community of Napa. I've been coming here for many years as someone who would just visit on weekends, and I would drive by this little college and think, wow, what a great place, right? It's so integral and connected to the community. And when I was researching the position, I just found and learned the rich history of Napa Valley College and its history of service and the strong engagement and connection of the community members into the campus. And so I was really attracted to that. I was attracted to the familial feel of the campus, the fact that it feels really like home. And so when I began researching about the campus, it was a no-brainer for me. It was an awesome college and an awesome community.
So tell us about the journey that got you here. So where did Dr. Powell start? You know,
I actually started at a community college. Some of you may have heard me speak before, but community college was such an influential, really turning point in my life. I was on the verge of dropping out of high school until I took my very first community college class. And that was the first class that I had gotten an A in quite some time. And that just gave me this really, strong sense of self-confidence and self-efficacy that's persisted with me throughout my career. So I was fortunate enough to transfer to a California State University and go on and earn some advanced degrees. Did a little bit of work in the field of urban design and planning. That's actually my professional background and training. And then I came back to higher education about 15 years ago, working at the same community college that I started at.
Wow.
So it was one of those full circle moments where I came back and I was actually the dean of two of the faculty members who taught me when I was a student. So that was one of those weird full circle moments, right, where now I'm actually the boss of some of the people that were my teachers and professors. So yeah, it's been a great journey. I think the thing that keeps me in community college is the deep connection to community and the fact that as an open access institution, we're here to service all people of the community. We don't turn anybody away, right? There's no admissions criteria. We're affordable for many of our students. They attend at no cost in terms of their registration fees. So this is truly the most democratizing, I should say, institution within the state that provides so many opportunities for so many people.
Well, that kind of leads me to my next question, which always is like, what's the mission of the college and who do you serve?
Our mission is really simple. It's to transform lives, right? That's our objective and our goal. And as a community college system, I think we do that very well. Again, we're an open access institution, so we service everyone. Students from the community, whether they be folks that are coming straight out of high school, students, that traditional student age population, 17 to 22 years old or so, who are looking to go on and transfer or get into the workforce. It could be someone who's currently in the workforce, who's looking to go back to school to earn a little more money or advance within their career. It could be folks that are just looking for lifelong enrichment, people that want to pick up a new skill or acquire something that they hadn't really known to do before. We service everyone. And as an open access comprehensive college that covers everything, not just transfer pathways, but career education, but lifelong learning, I'd like to say that we are the college for everyone. There's literally a class here for anyone who has an interest in bettering themselves. They can find it here at Napa Valley College.
That's great. So one of the things that we are here, been brought here to talk about is the impact that Napa College has in the community, how the college is helping the community.
Yes.
And then how the community is also helping the college, and that's through the Napa Valley Foundation. How do you see that relationship between the community and the foundation and the college?
Yes. Well, it's a great question. I'd say that, first and foremost, we're helping the community by creating that bridge and that pathway towards that next step for people. And again, given who we serve, we have folks who are coming to us who could go straight into the University of California or California State University system, who are choosing to come to Napa Valley College because they don't want to leave home. Or maybe it's because it's more affordable for them and they're looking to save a little bit of money, cut down on what their student loan payments might be. We are the affordable option for so many people. We're also a high quality option for so many people, given that we're a community college and we do have small class sizes. There's a lot of personalization. They get one-on-one attention from their faculty that they wouldn't get at some of the larger institutions. So I'd say that we have so much potential to help students, especially those students who are first-generation students who don't come from a history or background of family members who've been in higher education, who may be transitioning into this field of higher education for the first time. They could be the first person in their family to even consider college. We are well equipped towards helping those students be successful, because many of the people that work here, whether they be our faculty, our classified staff, our managers, have come from similar backgrounds like myself, right? Where they were the first person in their family to go to school. And so I'd say, you know, we give back to the community by ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to really better themselves and to better society, by extension, by bettering themselves. And the ways the community gives back to us are really legion as well. Again, the thing that attracted me to Napa Valley College was this strong connection, this symbiotic relationship between community and the college. Our college is really kind of like one of those small liberal arts colleges. I actually used to work at one of those called the University of Redlands in Southern California. And it's a small 4-year liberal arts college down in Redlands, California. Napa Valley College reminds me a lot of the University of Redlands, because there's this really strong town and gown connection, right? If you were to come to any one of our community events, our fundraisers, you know, some of our wine tasting events that happen every Friday, you know, small plug there. You'll see a strong engagement with members from the community from different sectors, different paths, walks of life, many of them who were Napa Valley College students at one point. And so we have this strong connection to the community, not just by extension of industry, but also by our alumni network. And these folks give back to us, right? Whether it be through philanthropy, through donations of their time, donations of their expertise. They really help ensure that the college is equipped to service students, not just now, but in the future as well. That's amazing.
What is the biggest impact that you think that the Napa Valley Community Foundation has had with Napa College?
Oh, wow. I love the foundation. The foundation has been such a stalwart partner in helping to ensure access for our students. I think the most prime example is obviously what we've been able to do with our viticulture and winery technology program. You know, the foundation was instrumental in securing the $10 million anchor gift that's allowed us to build our wine education center, phase 1 and phase 2. And that's going to continue to revolutionize our VWT program and ensure that we're well positioned into the future to provide career pathways and opportunities for students, and also critical skills necessary for our wine industry to thrive forward. And those, you know, that anchor gift would not have come through without the work of the foundation, both on the front end and also the continued advocacy and work towards growing that gift as well. I'd say most recently, the thing that excites me the most about the foundation has been the conversations I've had with our executive director around meeting our students' basic needs. So, you know, I'm a member of what's called the Basic Needs, the Food and Housing Task Force, which is a coalition of community college presidents and trustees from around the state who are working towards eradicating the challenges that students have with basic needs. And by basic needs, I mean their access to transportation, to food, housing, security, and mental health services, right? The foundation has been instrumental in helping us really advance the support services that we have for students in these areas by, you know, really going out and helping us tell the story of just who our students are to members of the community, helping us connect and engage with members of the community who are strongly invested in the continued success of the next generation, and folks that see that things like, you know, whether you can afford a meal for a day, or, you know, housing, and you're not, you know, being overly burdened by paying for these things to the point where it's restricting your capacity to go to school. Folks that can see that as being a major barrier for students, and who are committed towards, you know, really providing services and resources for those students so they can be successful.
We actually met with one of the students that received some scholarships, Andreas, and we talked to him for a little bit. What percentage of the students are at River Trail, or even attending the colleges in general? What percent gets some sort of financial aid?
You know, I would venture to say that it's the overwhelming majority receives some form of financial aid. I don't have the statistic off the top of my head, but I'd say, you know, I would estimate well in advance of 75% of our students receive some form of financial aid. Well, really, almost all students receive some form of assistance, because nearly every student we have is eligible for what we call the California Promise, which is essentially the grant that's funded through the state, which pays for all of the tuition costs. And then when you add in, you know, Pell Grants and Cal Grants, that number still remains fairly high. The needs of our students are students are, very well documented, right? Like 1 in 5 students experience some form of food or housing insecurity at some point while they're with us, right?
Yeah.
And, it's staggering numbers when you think about, students who are attempting to navigate through a higher education system while also doing something as basic as providing for their families or themselves. So again, the needs are legion, but the partnerships that we have by virtue of our connections with the foundation and the extended community are definitely helping to meet those needs.
That's great. One of the things that I think is really unique about Napa Valley College is my son attends New Tech High School.
All right.
And he's going to be a sophomore this year, and he's in the path to be able to graduate with his associate's degree. And I know that for years, students at all the high schools and throughout Napa Valley Unified School District, even in Up Valley, have been able to take classes at Napa College as part of their regular curricula with the high schools. What's that impact for the college and for the community that you've seen?
I'd say it's profound, right? What you're talking about is our dual enrollment programs. And dual enrollment is not a new concept. I mentioned that I actually took classes as a high school senior at the community college. This was many decades ago, right? So the concept of dual enrollment is not necessarily new, but the execution and the ability for us to provide a broader number of courses to a broader number of students within the high school has grown significantly. By offering college level classes to high school students, we're expediting their pathway through higher education. And within the community college system, velocity, or the student's ability to graduate within 2 years, is a key growth area for us, right? We know that our students, it's a 2-year degree, but many of them are taking longer than 2 years to get out. And that's for some of the reasons that we talked out before, right? That they're having to navigate work and school and providing for themselves. By giving them access to college level courses while they're in high school, we're expediting their pathway towards completion in higher education and reducing their overall time spent, which reduces both the amount of money that they need to spend when they transfer to whatever university they want to go on and get their bachelor's, and then also the opportunity cost of getting them back into the workforce and into their career faster. Napa Valley College is really a model for dual enrollment across the state. And I've been able to present at multiple conferences, including with one of our major partners with NVUSD, and Dr. Musetti. She and I have had the chance to present the Napa Valley College model for dual enrollment at statewide conferences, and we consistently hear that the nature of the partnership we have with our largest feeder district and the community college is really a model of excellence. And so I'd say that if your students, talking to the parents here, if your students are not currently enrolled in a college level class, then talk to us, right? This is something we have plans to grow our dual enrollment portfolio, and really the objective and goal would be to have college offerings in all of the high schools, and maybe even some of the middle schools where appropriate within our service area.
That's amazing. One of the last questions I have for you is, we talked about the foundation and how that helps, but overall, just in general, because the people that are seeing this video, how can people help Napa Valley College?
We need your students, first off. I'd say for the parents and for the folks with young people in their lives, or the folks who know someone that they work with, a friend who's looking to maybe go back and make a career switch. I think the first and most influential thing the community can do is just to be our biggest advocates and promoters. This is really the pathway to success and a way to transform lives. And so ensuring that students are aware of just how wonderful Napa Valley College is and how it creates these pathways towards wherever they want to go, I think is first and foremost one of the major ways. Another way is consider getting involved in volunteering. Giving back to the campus and the college. There are a lot of volunteer opportunities that we have here on campus, whether it be engagement with some of our students. There are several community service projects that we do here on campus. We have a community garden. And then for those who are able, considering a gift of, philanthropy to our foundation, right? We have so many resources that are dedicated directly to students, and so a gift to the Napa Valley College Foundation, to an endowed scholarship, or to some other form of student support really goes very far. I'm proud of not just Napa Valley College, but the California Community College system for really leveraging and maximizing our resources. We are the worst funded public education institution in California with some of the most amazing outcomes, and so we do so much with the resources resources we have. Anything that someone would be willing to give as it relates to the foundation is really going to help and benefit so many students, both now and in the future. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Hi, we're now here with Jeff Dodd. Jeff is a trustee at the college and a board member of the foundation. So that is kind of a unique role. What do you do with them?
Yeah, so I think it's a really serving in this dual capacity as a foundation board member and then as a member of the board of trustees on the Napa Valley College Community College District. It's really unique in a sense of understanding the policy and budget principles and strategic goals that we're having overall as a college and as an academic foundation. And then from the foundation's perspective, actually being really in tune, I think, with what students' needs, the needs of the college from long-term strategic planning, but then also a short-term planning perspective when a student has a particular need and call out for support, and we're able to provide that at the foundation.
So now, what do you think are some of the biggest needs, because you're talking about needs, of the students here, and how is that being addressed by the college and the foundation?
Yeah, I think in the same way where you have college, from the college, or putting the college hat on, we have looking at, looking at the community, what are our, career training needs that we need for the local workforce, which is a really critical component. What are the needs of our student body? They're looking to transfer to a four-year institution, looking to meet a certain academic goal, whether or not it's getting a certificate or just brushing up on certain skills that they need to pick up for a new job.
So how does the foundation address some of the student needs?
So the foundation is really serves a very unique role where they're developing, I think, relationships with our student body, understanding where the students' needs in terms of whether or not it's basic needs, just getting academic support or financial support in terms of housing with our new student housing at River Trail Village, and providing scholarship and grants to support just those basic needs, whether or not it's food or housing and security. And then also in the form of scholarships to our local students that might continuing their education here at Napa Valley College or wanting to transfer off to a four-year institution.
That's great. Where do you think that our community that we're talking to now, how can they help us?
I think a really critical component, and I hate to say it because it's going to be a little bit obvious, but we need your financial support. There's no secret that in terms of state budget and where we are right now in the state budget, that the community college districts are the most lowly funded educational support the group that we have right now. And with the cost of living increases going up and up and up, we're having really a lot of challenges in terms of meeting general student needs and also planning for the future.
What is the future that you think for Napa Valley College?
It's a college and an educational institution that is looking out into 21st century, long-term planning. What is our local community need in terms of workforce? What does our local community and our students that, again, want to transfer to a four-year institution, what are their needs and how can we best support them? And then just looking out to 21st century technologies and how can we be a cutting-edge institution.
Great. Is there anything else that we should know about the Napa Foundation or the college of ways people can help?
I think a really critical component of this is, and it's going to be obvious, but we need your financial support. When we're talking about an institution that needs funding, and I'm not just saying this for Napa Valley College, but every community college in the state is one of the most poorly funded educational institutions that we have relative to University of California or California State University system. When you're talking about per pupil cost, an investment in our students, we do a lot with very little. And so any economic investment, financial investment that our community can make into our students goes a long way.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Hi, now we're here with Malcolm Desayes with the Napa Valley College Foundation. He is the president of the foundation and has been for about 5 years. So tell me about your role and what you've experienced over those 5 years.
Yeah, so this is coming up. I'm finishing my 6th year as the Napa Valley College Foundation president. During this time, we've seen a lot of really exciting transitions at the foundation. We have an incredible executive director, Jessica Thompson. She leads us through our efforts to deliver about $300,000 a year in scholarships to Napa Valley College students. We also are finishing up our 2nd phase of the Wine Education Center complex. This overall has been just over a $16 million project that we have done. One phase is almost complete. The 2nd phase will be starting towards the end of this month. And really, we are here to help support the students of Napa Valley College.
So as your role as the president, how do you oversee all of these things? I mean, $16 million project and $300,000 a year seems like a pretty hefty task.
Yeah, we are a direct support organization of the college, so we operate closely with the faculty and staff of the college. We have an incredible office, Jessica Thomason, Diana Messenger. We have a small but mighty staff, but everybody kind of rows in the same direction. We identify our priorities at our quarterly board meetings. We make sure that we are, keeping our mission, vision, and core values close to what we do, really to support the students in the college. When we're thinking about our annual goals, not only is it kind of driven by the trustees, what they're looking for, but we are the philanthropic arm of the college. We are a completely separate entity. We're a 501c3, so we take in annual gifts. So we can store those gifts for not only special purposes or capital campaigns, but also the scholarships that we give out on an annual basis.
That's amazing. So what's the biggest impact that you think you've had as a president in the foundation during your time?
I can't say that I've had a direct impact, but I think that our activities over the past, say, 6, 7, 8 years have been pretty profound. The Wine Education Center is one of the biggest projects that's been funded by a foundation of a community college in California. We have a pretty special project where the Wine Spectator has stepped forward with a $10 million gift to anchor this complex. And through that, we've been able to raise the rest of the money through the generosity of other donors, and also the bequest of Evelyn Allen, an incredible woman who was a lifelong student here at Napa Valley College. So a lot of exciting things over the past few years.
That's amazing. How can people help?
Well, we definitely need financial support. The students of Napa Valley College are by far the most deserving of all the students in the area that go here. We need financial support. We also always love to hear from people who are interested in being involved with the foundation and the college. So, as a foundation, we really need the financial support of donors and community members.
So, Malcolm, what is your why? Why have you served so long and given back so much to the Napa Valley College Foundation?
I work with a number of nonprofits, and the Napa Valley College Foundation is by far, to me, the most exciting one to work with. I think that education is a universal right that every human in this country should be able to have access to. When we're looking at the students that attend Napa Valley College, they're extremely deserving, but also sometimes the funding that the foundation provides them through scholarships, housing grants, is the reason why they're able to stay in college. We are trying to deliver work-ready students and also happier, healthier individuals through education. I think the foundation does an incredible job helping to support students to keep them in school.
Thank you so much.
Sure, you're welcome.
Hi, now we're at Napa Valley College with the Napa Valley College Foundation's director, Jessica Thomason. So Jessica, tell me about your role as the executive director versus what we've been talking about with other board members like Malcolm and Jeff.
So as executive director, I'm really the boots on the ground. So I'm in the weeds, helping with, raising the operating budget, managing the endowment along with our investment and finance committee, and then also working with students in the college to identify needs and then secure funding and garner donor support to support those needs.
That's amazing. So do you like when you're going through and you're looking at the college needs, are you doing the scholarship applications? Are you reviewing all of that stuff?
Yeah, we have a committee of foundation board members that volunteer their time, and they read the applications every year. So we get to hear firsthand what some of the students' needs are, with a lot of common threads having to do with basic needs support. A lot of them spend their scholarship funds on housing, on food, on really, those basic living expenses that they need covered so then they can pursue an education.
So you're like, you have the real pulse of what the need is that you bring up to the top in the foundation and board and such.
Yeah, and we have such generous donors. We have people that want to give and they have the resources. And if we didn't exist, they wouldn't hear those stories, so they wouldn't know how they could invest or where they could put their money. So it's wonderful being able to bridge that.
That's great. So when you talk about, like, you just mentioned like the wonderful donors and stuff like that, like, how can donors help? What are their ways? Are there specific like programs, or is it just helping? Yeah,
there's a lot of ways. Over 90% of the funds in our holdings that we have are restricted to specific programs. We as a foundation, we need to grow, we need to build our capacity so we can continue to manage all that we do and steward the donor gifts. So we really do need annual fund gifts to support the foundation. We also have our scholarship program. We hold over 200 scholarship funds. And so donors can set up an invested fund that then we invest and are able to award scholarships in perpetuity. And then obviously direct support that we do for projects such as the Wine Education Center or future capital projects. We have some donors that will give to a specific program, some of our workforce programs such as welding and machine tool. So there are a lot of ways. It runs the gamut, but I would say the basic general gifts to the foundation are really important for our growth.
So I didn't understand that. You said 90% of the funds are specific. So what is a specific fund versus the 10% that is not specific?
Right, so a restricted fund means a donor sets it up for a specific purpose. So we received a large legacy bequest from a donor. Her name was Evelyn Allen. She left her estate to the college. She wanted it to go to the wine program and adaptive PE. So anything that are her funds go specifically to those programs. So when we have a need arise, as we raise funds for our general operating budget, we're also raising funds for potential smaller needs that the college has. So if a department reaches out and says the art department and they need funding for something and we don't have the restricted dollars, if we grow our annual fund, then we can have the flexibility to use those funds wherever is needed.
So like I'm asking for example, we talked with a student that received a housing scholarship. Is that a restricted fund, or would that come from the unrestricted funds?
We've been able to secure funds through the foundation that we then put specifically for housing.
Oh.
So it is restricted for housing.
So if somebody was to give and they want to be able to have it be the best use and the best support for the fund.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's an unrestricted gift.
Yeah, making an unrestricted gift is extremely important to just the livelihood of the foundation. So we have the resources to then implement and do the programs we do for the college.
And is there any special way that somebody has to make that donation where they say that it's unrestricted?
Yeah, you can make it online.
Okay.
Actually, if you want to avoid fees, which I highly recommend, you can just come to our office and talk to the lovely Diana or myself and write a check, and we'd be very grateful.
Wonderful. And we'll have links to the donation opportunities in the videos as well. Thank you so much, Jessica.
You're welcome.